Before we hop into the video, I want to let you guys know about the website g2a.com. There'll be a link in the description. Go check it out if you want to get some really amazing deals on games, as well as super discounted shark cards. They usually have shark cards for super cheap on their website. So go in the description, check it out. If you need some cash for either the Duga Death or the upcoming gun running DLC, then this is perfect. Hey, what's up everyone, Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today I'll be talking about 10 things you probably don't know about the Duga Death. There's actually quite a few things that may shock you in this video, because at least when I found out in online, I was like, holy crap, that's incredible. So if you do enjoy this video and find it helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could drop it a like, and if you want, you can subscribe for more awesome GTA content. Now, I did make a video a few weeks ago when I first got the Duga Death in online, because there was a way you can get a modder to spawn it in on the PC, and then I did some tests, and if you're wondering what the difference between that video and this video will be, there's actually quite a bit that has changed. I guess Rockstar noticed some things, and they decided to make some changes. One thing being the insurance on this car. Now, when modders first spawned it in, since it was free, and you blew it up, no matter which sort of way it happened, the insurance was free because the car was free. And insurance is normally based off of how much the car costs. So if the car is free, insurance is free. But they actually changed that. Whether you buy it with money, if you're not a returning player, or if you are a returning player and it is free on the website, the insurance actually costs $8,312. So just know that you do have to be somewhat careful. You can't just go around blowing yourself up and not having any sort of consequences. Although, and this is completely absurd if you do it, because you're not going to get all the upgrades and stuff. But it is kind of funny. If you do end up blowing up your car, technically you can just buy a new one for free, or get a new one off the website for free and replace that one. But again, if you do that, you're not going to have any of the upgrades, and your car is going to look stock, like, you know, as is and all that. So it's probably not the best thing, but I did want to mention that because it is kind of funny how you could, or you can, just get another one for free if you don't care about the upgrades. Next thing I'll talk about is the paint on this car. So there is a primary and there is a secondary. The primary is the black on my car. The secondary is sort of the outline. And one thing that's interesting, one thing that only happens on this car, these stock rims will actually change with the secondary color. So if you like the stock rims and you want to keep them, you know, you don't want to change them, then you can actually change the color of them by using the secondary color option. Now, that's either a good thing or a bad thing, because if you want to have a secondary color for your car, but you don't like the rims changing color, then you're kind of screwed if you want to keep stock rims. But I thought that was pretty cool. And then also, if you do want to paint your rims, if you just choose any of the rim options, you can paint them to whatever color, and the secondary option will not affect them. So you might find some of the, or one pair of the rims that look like the stock ones if you do want to keep them a different color than your secondary. Also, speaking of customization, for whatever reason, there is no license plate option in the custom shop. Like, if you go in there and you're looking to change the license plate, maybe you don't like the white, maybe you want a blue, or maybe you want a black one, or maybe you want your custom license plate, you can't actually change it in the custom shop. But there's a super simple solution to that if you have the iFruit app. I know maybe some of you guys don't, because it's kind of a pain to get up and running. But if you do have the iFruit app, then all you have to do is go into the iFruit app, pick the Duga Death that you just bought, and then it should give you the license option, and you can put whatever license you want on it. And then from there, you know, you get the order to go into the paint spray, and then you can get your license changed. Now, some comparisons of it against the Armored Kruma, because that is something that a lot of people are looking for. It depends on what you need for GTA, because the Armored Kruma, it doesn't take explosive damage, like one explosion and you blow up. However, you are less likely to get shot by NPCs and even by other players in an Armored Kruma. You have a little bit more armor on the Armored Kruma compared to the Duga Death. The Duga Death, it's I don't want to say easy to get shot by other players, but the side windows you can easily get shot through, because even though they look bulletproof, they're not really bulletproof. NPCs and cops, on the other hand, are a little harder to kill you. You have to be like super close to a cop or to an NPC for them to shoot through the windows on this car. So for missions and just driving around in free roam, if you don't want the cops killing you, I still think it's a solid option. It's not as good as the Kuruma, but it's definitely up there. It's not like it's super negative to this car. Also, comparing it to the Kuruma is all-wheel drive, where the Duga Death is only rear-wheel drive, if that matters. I did some tests. These are like not official at all, but in case you were wondering, with some speed tests, how they compare in free roam, the Duga Death smokes the armored Kuruma. So if you're looking for speed, the Duga Death or the armored Kuruma is definitely not the one. You're gonna want to get the Duga Death, but you got to remember the armored Kuruma does hold 4 people, where the Duga Death can only hold 2 people. Also, side note, you're seeing in the test here, since we're doing this on the airport, the Shafter V12 Armored Edition is actually the fastest armored car in the game. So if you're looking for a super fast armored car, and I believe that also has 4 doors, then the V12 might be the one you want. But the V12 doesn't have the bulletproof windows or the bulletproof like coverage, so you're more likely to get shot by NPCs and by other players. I did just want to mention that, though. For official testing, because the Duga Death is in the muscle class for whatever reason, the Duga Death, just on this little straightaway, which tests, you know, the top speed, I guess, and the acceleration, the Duga Death comes in with a nice drag race time of 24.378 seconds. And then I compared it to the top-of-the-line muscle car, the Sabre Turbo Custom, and the Sabre Turbo Custom comes in at 24.364. So a 0.01 second difference between the two cars, basically the same. And I think the Duga Death will handle a little bit better, and it has the trucking power. Like, you can run through other cars. Not saying you should hit other cars in racing, but if people want to hit you, you're more likely to, you know, regain control and not spin out. So for racing purposes in the muscle class, the Duga Death is definitely, or it looks like the Duga Death is definitely up there, but I don't know how many people actually race in the muscle class. Another thing I'll mention, and this is somewhat exclusive to the Duga Death, there's not many cars in the game that actually have this happen, but the bright lights actually work, and they are super bright. Like, you could light up an entire freaking little city block, you know, at nighttime if there's no lights around with the bright lights. So if you're looking, or if you like that feature, then, you know, obviously that's something that's a positive. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, so with the Duga Death, and this is somewhat comparing it to the Armored Kuruma, the Armored Kuruma, you can actually shoot pretty much around the entire car. I don't think you can shoot behind you, like directly behind you, but you can definitely shoot to your left and to your right, where in the Duga Death, you're sort of limited. Like, if you go into first person, you can see my gun only will allow me to shoot in the window that's in front of me. And that makes sense because, you know, you ain't going to be able to shoot through a solid bulletproof wall or whatever you want to call it. So you are really limited by the angle of which you can shoot. It's basically directly in front of you if you're in first person. But I found out something, and this is super weird. I guess this is a Rockstar logic. If you go into third person, you can actually shoot further to your right. For instance, you can see here, I can shoot way further than what it allowed me to shoot in first person only when I aim to the right. When I aim to the left, it still doesn't give me the option to shoot, but I can go almost like a full 90 degrees looking to my right, shooting to my right, where in first person I can only go maybe, you know, 60 degrees. So definitely, if you're going to be driving this car, don't be in first person. 1, because it's hard to see the road, and 2, because you actually are limited by the angle of which you can actually shoot out of. Now, I saved the best ones for last because these are the ones that absolutely blew my freaking mind. Like, this is insane. So, as we all know, the Duga Death can survive an explosion. I do believe you have to upgrade the armor, because if you don't upgrade the armor, I tested it and just 1 sticky bomb blew it up. So, make sure you do upgrade the armor. But, assuming you have fully upgraded armor, it'll take 1 sticky bomb if you're not in it, or 1 RPG if you're not in the car. And then the second one will explode it. But what's odd, and I don't know why this is happening, if you're actually in the car can withstand more damage. So if you're in the car, it can take 2 sticky bombs, or 2 RPGs before it explodes. But see, that's not even the craziest part. I was not expecting this, but to make the Duga Death somewhat awesome in free roam, especially now with the Ruiner 2000 and, you know, the homing launcher, this thing can take 9 homing launcher missiles before it explodes. That is insane. That's freaking crazy. You can see in the test here. First off, I did it without standing in it, and I believe it only took 5 homing launchers before it blew up. I think on the 6th one it blew up. So if you're not in the Duga Death, then the car will blow up a lot quicker with the homing launchers. But my friend here, now I'm in the car, I'll go ahead and speed this up. It took him 9 homing launcher explosions to blow me up. And considering you can only hold 10 at a time, that is really good. And that's why I say it's way better than the Armored Crew Mode for free roam. Maybe not for missions or whatever, because if you got other people and stuff. But for free roam, this is amazing because of the explosive resistance. I mean, being able to take or withstand 2 sticky bombs or 2 RPGs, that's really good. And then being able to withstand 9, or I guess 8 technically, homing launcher missiles. Like, that's really good. But it gets even better because the last thing you probably don't know about the Duga Death, because the Ruiner 2000 basically has the homing launcher on it, like the rockets from the Ruiner 2000 act like they're from the homing launcher, it takes all 8 of the Ruiner 2000 rockets to blow up the Duga Death. And that is why this thing is my go-to car for free roam. I mean, the Insurgent is up there because the Insurgent takes 5 or 6 of all explosions. But since most people use the homing launcher since it locks on, or the Ruiner 2000 since it locks on, this thing is a tank for those. And if you have griefers in your lobby, you're definitely going to want to be driving the Duga Death because it is just a beast for tanking those things. And I mean, that's not even including the handling. That's really good. The fact that it's got like a solid force behind it. So if you run into cars, you're not going to go spinning out. You're not going to, or you're basically just going to push them out of the way. And I love the looks of it. So those are some things that you probably didn't know about the Duga Death. Like 8 and 9 homing launcher missiles. That is just insane. I was not expecting that when I first tested this vehicle. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. If you want to maybe purchase this vehicle or not. I mean, if it's free, you might as well get it. If it's not free, then I think for the $665,000 price tag, I think it's a pretty solid buy. I mean, I know that might be a little bit for a lot of people, but I think it's worth it. Anyway, that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. Like I said at the beginning, if you did enjoy it and found it helpful, please drop it a like. That'd be much appreciated. As always, though, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.